Hey guys, we're going to be talking about composting today on Earth Day. Composting is a great thing that you guys can do at home, and it's incredibly environmentally friendly. Not only are you taking trash and turning it into excellent fertilizer for your garden, but you're going to be taking that trash and keeping it out of the landfill, which is really important for the environment. Okay guys, in order to compost from home, you're going to need a few things. The first thing you're going to need is something to collect the compost in the kitchen. You can use a special compost collection bin. They have special bags that you can buy, and you can even use something as simple as a bowl for the garbage. The second thing you're going to need is you're going to need a composting bin for outside the house. We have a double bin composter. And the great thing about this is you're going to have to turn this every day. So this bin has nice wheels on it, which makes turning a lot easier. Okay, so this is a type of bin you can buy. There's several others on the market. And there's two types of compost. There's worm compost and dry compost. We're doing dry compost today because somebody's a little bit chicken about worms. But worm compost is another way to do it, and it's a fantastic way that hopefully we can cover on a different day. So good compost is 2 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. Carbon can be lawn debris, leaves, sticks, grass. You can even use straw, or if you live in the city, you can use newspaper or Amazon delivery boxes to cut them up. Your nitrogen is going to be your garbage. The last 2 items that you're going to need is possibly an activator. An activator can be something like our chicken manure that we cleaned out of our pen, or it can be something you buy online, or you can choose not to use an activator, but it's going to take a little bit longer to get your good compost.
We're going to start out by putting some fibrous material here in the bottom, and that's going to help create a layer of air so that all of our compost from the kitchen or garden scraps don't end up just coming down and turning into a big soup at the bottom.
So we got carbon here, carbon number 1.
So now that we have added a layer of fibrous material on the bottom, we're going to add our compost scraps from the kitchen, all those good peels and vegetable edgings and gross stuff because it's been sitting in my kitchen for about 24 hours. We're going to add that into the compost bin. And then each time you add a little bit of your garden scraps, your kitchen scraps, you're going to want to go ahead and add a little bit of fibrous material on top to create a layer. Not too much, but just enough to keep some air in there. All right, Abigail, should Daddy add the activator now? So now that we've added 1 more layer, thanks Charles, we're going to put the lid on this puppy and we're going to spin it. What's going to happen now as we sit here in the sunny spot in the backyard is this black plastic is going to attract the sunlight and it's going to heat everything up in there. And now we're going to spin it. And we spin it because that helps aerate everything in there. And the cool thing with this bin is that it's got 2 different drums. So one drum actually is cooking and making compost right now. The other one is what we're going to continue to add food scraps to over the course of the next couple weeks. And hopefully by the time we're filled up this side, the other side is going to be all compost ready for our garden.
Wasn't composting a lot of fun? It's something that everyone can do this Earth Day to have a huge environmental impact. But now that you've got your composting, what are you going to do with it? Well, we're going to show you one of the great things you can do this Earth Day to get you started out for a beautiful backyard garden. So now it's time to do some gardening, some planting. We're going to be working today with lettuce. It's the perfect spring vegetable to go in because even if it's a little bit cold, lettuce likes it cold. So it is a good first starter. We're going to be doing some seeds and starting these seed pods so that in a couple weeks when our compost is ready, so are our seedlings for their new home.
Usually when I get these seed packets, I read the information that's provided with them because I find it's really helpful to know proper planting depth, when to plant and so forth. And thankfully our seed packets do have a lot of information. And basically, we're going to pull a couple of these little seeds out here, and you don't want to plant too many in any given little seed pod area because they're going to start sprouting, and then you only want to have 1 or 2 really good viable ones in here, so you'll have to thin them. So we're going to put like 3 or 4 seeds in each little, 4 seeds in each little pod here. And they're going to go to a 1/16 of an inch on the soil, so hardly at all. We're just going to tuck them down there ever so slightly. Since we don't have the compost ready yet, we are going to use seed starter soil, which has lots of great nutrients for the seedlings as well.
I think we just need to give each one a dab of water, right?
Yep, little teeny bit. Yep. Oh, don't flood them. All right. The important part for seedlings is they need some sunshine, like, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours a day, 8 hours. Read your seed packet again. But when you cover them up with plastic, it helps facilitate these little seedlings sprouting sooner. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a greenhouse, you're already a pro at this. But for those of us who are just getting started, like Charles, his sister Diane, and me, we're putting together this big garden, or at least we're going to try. These little containers that you can get at the store are a great way to get started with those seedlings. And what it does is it helps bring in the light and maintain some consistent temperature in there, augment the heat a little bit. And hopefully in 7 to 10 days, we're going to have some seed sprouting.
Thank you for joining us this Earth Day special. We really hope that you guys learned something and had as much fun as we did.
Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon.